Whatever happened to catching a good old-fashioned passionate ass whooping and getting your shoes coat and your hat tooken? This is Mark Bell from SuperTraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West, answering more questions for the Power Project, brought to you by HowMuchYouBench.net, The Slingshot, and the only strength magazine in the world, ThePowerMagazine.com. I've been accused of taking too long with these Power Project videos, so I'm going to try to start to shorten them all up by about 2 or 3 minutes. A lot of times they go on for about 10 minutes of me rambling. I'm going to try to slow that down, or speed that up, should I say, and keep it more to like 6 or 7 minutes. So let's see if I can accomplish that. The question of the day comes off the YouTubes, and the guy wants to know, it's a question about GPP. What are some things that I do for general physical preparedness, otherwise known as GPP, aka conditioning work? What I like to do for conditioning work is very simple. I will mash together about 3 different exercises, or I will simply just pull the sled. Sometimes when I pull the sled, I pull the sled for about 30 minutes straight. Very, very little rest in between sets. I'll keep a belt on. I'll have about 4 plates on the sled. I'll go down and back twice, going about, I would say, how far is that? About 60 yards or so, or maybe, I'm sorry, no, maybe more like about 100 yards total. And then I'll rest for about a minute, and then I'll go again. A lot of times when I'm doing this for general physical preparedness and for conditioning, I'll just continue to keep going, doing some sort of sled dragging, whether it be rowing, bench pressing with the sled straps, or walking backwards or walking forward. Other times I will take a product like the Circle from HowMuchYouBench.net, and I'll do some sidewalks with that, up and back, grab the sled again, and then go again. And I'll set my my timer on this very phone right here that I shoot all the Power Project videos on, and I'll set it to about 30 minutes, and when that time's up, time's up. A couple other things that I do is, as I mentioned earlier, I'll pair exercises together. Sometimes they go together in a way that really kicks your ass and makes you, in kind of a superset-like fashion. And other times they're kind of unrelated to each other. An example of that was like what I did today. I did some sled drags. In between the sled dragging, I did heavy pull-down abs. The 2 exercises are kind of unrelated to each other in a way. You're not really using your abdominals much when you're pulling the sled. And the pull-down abs is a much easier, very easy activity to do in between the sled dragging, which is much more demanding. So there's things that I do that are like that. Another example, something I did today as well, is I supersetted step-ups with some grip work. I used some of these grip force thingies around the barbell. I did a set of that, a set of 6 to 8 reps, and then performed a set of pretty high step-ups, about 10 reps on each leg, and then rested a little bit. My conditioning, the GPP that I need for my sport, which is powerlifting, is not very great. I don't need to slaughter myself round after round like an MMA fighter. I don't need to destroy myself round after round like a CrossFitian. But on that same note, CrossFitters can do something very similar, and I've done it with a lot of my athletes. Jesse Burdick has done it with a lot of the people that he's working with as well, and it's been very effective. You can simply do your strength training in the beginning of your workout, and you can do your Metcon afterwards. You can take 3 exercises. It can be push-up, toes to bar, and let's say a lunge with some weight on your back. You make it simple. Any 3 exercises that you want to mix them together, apply a certain amount of rep range to them, or a certain amount of time to each one, do a certain amount of rounds, and now you got a workout, and just name it after some bitch that you hate, right? and then you have a bitch of a workout. So those are the kinds of things I like to do for GPP. Very simple activities, such as the prowler, the sled, jump ropes, even things like push-ups can be considered general physical preparedness for something like a bench press, for something like an overhead press. General physical preparedness generally getting you in shape for whatever it is that activity is that you want to do better on. So you can simplify it and look at it in those terms and kind of conduct your business that way. But one thing I will add is that a little bit of general physical preparedness can go a long way. A little bit of GPP can go a long way. So try to institute some sort of GPP at least twice a week. Strength is never a weakness, and that is it from supertraining.tv.